Someone doesn't text back for 4 hours and you're not just wondering why. You're replaying the last thing you said, looking for the exact sentence that made them leave. A friend seems a little quiet in a group chat, and by the time you've noticed, you've already decided they're done with you. Someone gives you feedback at work, mild, constructive, forgettable to anyone else, and you feel it in your chest like a punch. You call that being sensitive. It's not. There's a name for it, and it's not a personality trait. It's called Rejection Sensitive Dysphoria. Dysphoria means a deep, physical discomfort, not just sadness, an actual felt sense of wrongness in the body. Pair that with rejection, and you get this: a nervous system that treats perceived rejection, even imagined rejection that never happened, with the same intensity as a real physical threat, not metaphorically. The same stress response as if you were in actual danger, triggered by someone reading your message and not answering right away. Here's the part that makes this different from just low self-esteem. You don't just feel bad when someone rejects you. You feel bad when you think someone might, someday, possibly reject you over something that hasn't even happened yet. Your brain doesn't wait for the evidence. It runs the worst-case version first and asks questions later. This isn't random. If you grew up around criticism that showed up without warning, a mood that could shift the second you did something wrong, then your brain learned a useful trick. Scan constantly, catch the rejection before it lands. Feeling bad early, on a hunch, was safer than being blindsided by it later. That wasn't a flaw. That was pattern recognition doing its job in an environment where the pattern was real. The problem is that the environment changed and the alarm system didn't get the memo. So now a slightly delayed reply triggers the same response a real threat used to. Here are 4 signs RSD might be running quietly in the background of your life. Sign 1. A neutral message reads like an angry one. Someone sends you a one-word reply, okay, or sure, and you can feel your whole body brace. Not because the words are hostile, because your brain fills in a tone that was never actually there. Sign 2. You rehearse conversations that haven't happened yet. Before a hard conversation, you're already running the worst version of it in your head, word for word, bracing for a reaction you haven't even seen. You're not preparing. You're pre-suffering. Sign 3. Feedback feels like a verdict on you as a person, not on the work. A small correction at your job doesn't feel like, fix this one thing. It feels like, you are bad at this and possibly bad in general. The size of the feeling has nothing to do with the size of the comment. Sign 4. You avoid asking for things because the possible no feels worse than just not having it. You'll go without rather than risk hearing someone turn you down, because for you, that no doesn't feel like a small inconvenience. It feels like proof of something you've always suspected about yourself. If 2 or more of those sound familiar, this isn't you being too much. It's a threat detection system that's been running hot for a long time, picking up signals other people's nervous systems don't even register. Here's what makes RSD especially hard to catch in yourself. It doesn't look like fear from the outside. It looks like mood swings, or being too sensitive, or overreacting to nothing, which means the people closest to you often respond with exactly the thing that makes it worse, minimizing it, telling you to relax, treating the reaction as the problem instead of the alarm system underneath it. So the goal isn't to stop feeling things intensely. It's to build a pause between the alarm going off and you believing everything it's telling you. A few places to start. 1. When the spiral starts, name it out loud, even just to yourself. This is RSD, not evidence. Naming the pattern pulls you out of it faster than trying to argue your way out of the feeling. 2. Before you interpret silence, wait 1 full day. Most of the worst-case stories your brain writes during those hours turn out to be wrong. The waiting doesn't fix the feeling. It gives the feeling time to be tested against reality. 3. Separate the size of the reaction from the size of the event. Ask yourself, if a stranger described this exact situation to me, how big would I say the problem actually is? That gap is usually where you'll find the real size of things. 4. Let one small rejection happen on purpose. Ask for something you're not sure you'll get. Send the text you'd normally overthink. You're not trying to get a yes. You're teaching your nervous system that a no doesn't actually end anything. You didn't choose to have a nervous system this responsive to rejection. Somewhere along the way, it made sense to build one. But the alarm going off doesn't always mean there's a fire, and you're allowed to check before you believe it. If this described you more than you expected, you're not too sensitive, and you're definitely not alone in it.